Welcome to the 1000 GM Player Profiles. I'm here with an exceptional talent, Sriram Krishnakumar, the FIDE Master, 14-year-old FIDE Master, I might add, which is incredible. So let's welcome him to the show. Welcome, Sriram, and how do you feel to be here?
It's an honor. It's one of my first norm tournaments that I've ever played,
Oh,
yeah,
great. Oh, that's
so very
excellent.
exciting.
All right, so let's talk about the mission of 1000 GM. Um, so the mission of 1000 GM, if it succeeds, is to create all of these norm tournaments and offer them to norm seekers for free, and of course pay the grandmasters very well. How do you think that kind of mission will have an impact on the chess scene as it is now?
I think it'll help a lot of players get better and better at chess itself,
Hmm.
and it'll help a lot of people because norm tournaments, as I said before, are very hard to find. And this mission, it will help a lot of young players, young talents, and other norm seekers. So I think it's a wonderful thing they're doing.
Yeah, are you super excited to play?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Awesome, awesome. And so you haven't played many events before, um, but do you know that it usually costs like thousands of dollars to play these events?
Yeah, yeah. I know. I haven't played that many norm tournaments. I actually think this is my first one, but I
Wow.
know it's very, very expensive.
And
Um,
have you had
so,
any friends that had to travel to Europe or other places to go for norms?
yeah, I have had some friends that had to go to Europe. One of my friends, Abhimanyu Mishra, youngest GM.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, so he went to Europe and got his GM norms. I think it's just very inspirational. Also, I'm thinking of maybe doing something like that. Maybe we'll
Oh,
see.
that's awesome. But that is pretty incredible. So you're friends with him.
Yeah, I used to talk with him a lot.
Great.
I haven't talked to them recently, but yeah, I have talked to them.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know who he is, he's become the youngest grandmaster, I believe, in history. Correct?
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. So yeah, I mean, it does take a lot to actually get the IM and GM titles. So it must have
yeah.
taken a lot of money for him. Um, do you know where you're staying when you come play the tournament? Um,
I think I'm staying in the same hotel as the tournament conducted, so Hilton Alex, I think.
yeah, and you've
Uh,
played a lot of events because you're a FIDE master. So
yeah.
do you prefer to stay at the venue that the tournament is held in?
I think it's normally better because you can like go on and see like games anytime you want, almost because it's the same hotel. Well, if you're like in some other hotel, you have to like walk down the street and all that. So I think it's just easier staying in the same hotel.
Yeah, chess players don't like walking down the street,
Yeah,
especially if it's hot. No way.
yeah.
All right, that's great. And are you staying with your parents?
Yeah. I'm going with my dad. And we're both gonna stay at the hotel.
Oh, that's great. Do you travel with your dad mostly to tournaments?
Yeah, yeah. Most of the time, only my dad.
Okay.
Sometimes my mom and my sister come, but most of the time, only my dad. So,
Is your dad a big fan of your chess play?
yeah, he's also the one that made me start playing. He used
Oh,
to play,
wow. Okay, we'll
so
get into that a little bit later, but let me get first to the hard question though. Okay, I want to get to this question because it's important to 1000 GM, and the hard question is there systemic discrimination in chess towards financially privileged players? Meaning, do they have better access to these norm tournaments? I know you're only 14, so you can answer to the best of your ability.
I think that it's easier to find norm terms, but I always believe that everyone has the same opportunity and same chance.
Okay.
So normally I don't think it depends that much, but you know, money is money. You don't know. Sometimes it helps you a lot. Sometimes it doesn't. So yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah,
just hope that everyone gets the same opportunity.
I appreciate that. That's a pretty astute observation. Money is money. So you mentioned your dad. We'll go right to that because I think that's quite important. There's a lot of players and people that have been inspired by their parents. So I want to highlight your parents. Um, you said that he's the one that got you into chess.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So take me back to when you
Yes.
first started.
So
What age first?
I think I started when I was five,
Oh wow.
like 5 months after my fifth birthday. I started because like my dad was saying like that you aren't really doing anything at home. Let's try to do something fun. and he brought the yeah, and so we had this book at home. It was like a beginner like chess book. I don't remember the name of it,
Okay.
but it was just like a very fun book where it just had like a lot of puzzles to solve. And I just thought chess was really cool. I didn't want to play competitive yet. I was just thinking of playing for fun.
Yeah.
And slowly, as my dad taught me more, I enjoyed the game even more. And when I started playing tournaments and like actually winning like trophies, I was like, oh, this is actually really fun. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
only like 5, so um,
Wait,
trophies are like, yeah.
is your dad a competitive player?
He used to be. He used to play with me also. So like we would both play in like the same tournaments or whatever.
Oh,
He stopped
that's
playing.
awesome.
Yeah, he stopped playing like 1 or 2 years ago though. But I mean, yeah, yeah. I think he stopped when he was like 15, 1600. But you know,
Okay, yeah.
still
I
really
mean
good.
that's still
Yeah,
good. Most
yeah,
people's parents aren't, you know, B B class players.
yeah,
They aren't really. They're just casual players usually. So
yeah,
so that is pretty interesting. So wait, you mentioned trophies. When did you
yeah.
win your first trophy?
I don't know the exact date, but I think it was like yeah, so I think it was in 2014 in near to like almost my 6th birthday, but like I'd
So you were still
say
5. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. And how did that make you feel? I mean, wait, what place did you get?
I mean, I think I got like third or something. I
Okay.
did definitely didn't get first.
Okay.
I got like third or something. I'm like, oh, we get trophies, and I was just really happy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And how did that motivate you?
yeah, it motivates you a lot because you're like, oh, I can actually win something. And after like trophy, there's also this place I don't remember. It was called like Bumblebee Chess or something.
Okay.
And it would like if you win, you'd get like trophies, and you might get like a $5 like $5 cash or something. I was really motivated. I'm like, yes, I can win something, and I just wanted to keep playing and playing with that company.
That's
So
awesome. So it sounds like your dad was your first coach. Is that right?
yeah,
So that's excellent. So shout out to your dad for being the first coach.
yeah,
That's awesome. Um,
yeah.
and then at what point did you start to get, really serious about competition?
I think I got really serious when I became 1500. I think it wasn't like I was still just playing for fun even till then. But when I got around 1500, I was like, okay, well, I mean, I've already gone this far. I mean, I could just keep going, play competitive, play. And that's also like the time where you start playing it's more adults
Yeah.
and not only kids. Because I was like 7 or 8, I think, when I was like 1500, and I was just like, oh, I'm playing all these adults, and I'm like the only kid here. I'm like, okay, now it has to be competitive. So
Okay. I actually want to drill down on that. That's very interesting. The experience of playing in a section with mostly adults as a kid.
yeah.
How did that make you feel?
I wasn't the only kid. There were like 2 or 3, but like it was heavily a lot of adults there,
Yeah.
and it was just like me playing against like all of these adults, and I'm like, I've gone to like a state where I've gotten like decently good, where everyone's adults, and I'm like, where's all the kids going? Like, come on, there has to be more kids like me. And yeah, I mean, there was also like these kids tournaments where I wouldn't call them kids tournaments, like these junior tournaments where
Yeah.
it was like under 8, under 10,
Right.
which
Right.
were very, very important. So
Right. Okay. Wait. So let's set the scene though. Where are you from?
California, where I'm currently staying,
That's
I've
it.
lived here like 10 years of my life. So
For people that don't know where that is, that's in the Bay Area, right?
yeah, it's near. Yeah, it's like a little south of San Francisco.
And how is the chess in the Bay Area? Is it pretty strong?
Yeah, it's amazing. There's a lot of players, a lot of competition. There's a lot of clubs here. There's the Mechanics Chess Club and there's BAC. So there's a lot of chess players here. It's really fun.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so we're talking about like serious players, and you found yourself as one of the few kids.
Yeah.
Did you win any of those events?
Um, I don't think I won that many until I got higher rated. But that's also where I made a lot of my chess friends. Like the only other kids there, I became their friends because they also had like the same feeling as me, where they were the only kids, and I became their friends. And I'm still their friends today.
Oh, that's
So,
great. That's great. Do you like that community that little community that you've built of friends?
yeah, yeah, it's very fun.
Awesome.
Play a lot
And
of chess again.
And so then, at what point did you move on from your dad as coach to a new coach?
I think it was around the same time when I was playing against adults. I think maybe like when I was closing in on 1800 or something, so like 1700 to 1800.
Okay, and who was that coach?
Sohan, he was my coach from like basically helped me a lot to cross the 2000 barrier. I was stuck there for like 1 year, I think. So he helped me a lot, in all the aspects.
Can you say his full name and title?
Sohan Patke. He's also from India.
So. Oh wait! Say his full name and title again.
Sohan Patke. So Sohan's his first name, Patke's second name.
And what's his level?
He is, I think he's an IM.
Oh, okay, so he's an IM. So let's shout out to him and say thank you for that work. Are you still working with him?
No.
Okay.
I think 1 or 2 years ago, I started with the new coach.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Let's not move on to that quite yet. Let's stay with this coach. Say his name one more time because I'm having trouble.
Sohan. Sohan. Sohan.
So I am Sohim. So
yeah.
I am Sohim.
Yeah.
Taught you what? Like, what did he work on in your game?
I think he mostly helped me with my openings because the higher ratings you get, I mean, the openings are a really big factor.
Yeah.
I would lose a lot of games, I would lose in like 10, 15 moves just because I would just get stuck in like a trap. So he helped me a lot with that. And also my end games, which need a lot of help. Basically like transforming from the middle game to the end game.
Right.
He helped a lot with that. So
is that to non-chess players or just amateurs, is that transition pretty tough?
Yes, it's very tough. It was very hard to learn. A lot of tournaments had to be played, and it was very, very tough. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks to I Am Sohim for that.
Yeah.
And then, are you the coach you switched to? Is it your current coach?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to give you a choice, though. This is up to you. Some players want to reveal it, some players don't. So do you want to keep it secret, or do you want to tell everybody?
I'll keep it secret for now.
Awesome. You're keeping it secret. All right. Now, I have to drill down a little bit when it's secret. Is it someone in the Bay Area?
No.
Oh, so it's online.
Yeah, I have online classes.
Oh, okay, great. I have an idea. Is it related to an Indian organization?
Not really.
Okay, there's millions of people you can learn from online.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands. There's not that many Indians, of course.
And also, when I was with Sohan, I also, because of BAC, I'm next to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I had Christian Trilla as my coach for like a year.
Oh, Christian!
Yeah.
He's my main man. Him and I stayed in, we went to the U.S. Open together. He stayed at the house I rented. And he's a great person.
Yeah.
One of the coolest grandmasters in the United States.
Yeah.
You want to say some nice words about Christian?
Yeah, he's like an amazing coach. One of the best I've had. He's helped me a lot as well.
Awesome.
And I had over the board classes with him whenever he would be in BAC.
Okay.
He would travel a lot, but when he was in the Bay Area, I would have over the board classes with him.
For anybody that doesn't know, what does BAC stand for?
Bay Area Chess.
Okay, Bay Area Chess. Yeah, and they're a huge organization out there. And so you would take group classes or one-on-one?
I had one-on-one classes with him over the board, and then in Bay Area, like every Sunday, they would have I think every Saturday from like 11 to 12 there would be like group session.
Yeah.
And he would teach it, so it was very fun. And improved my chess a lot.
Awesome. Well, shout out to Christian, Grandmaster Chirila. I think he's one of the best guys in U.S. chess. So you're clearly working with a lot of strong players. Do you find that important to not just work with one coach, but work with many players?
I think it's important to work with many players. It doesn't have to be coaches, like also friends, because you get like different views of chess. Like different openings, and you get like different views from all these coaches and players, and it just helps a lot for you to understand different ideas and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I just thought of an off the wall question, but I think it's funny. Who's the strongest player in the Bay Area?
Uh, I
It's tough, right?
I don't really know.
Okay, I was just curious.
I don't know. There's so many good players. They're definitely not me. There's so many more good players.
Awesome, awesome. And do you actually like that you're not at the top of the anthill? You're not at
Yeah,
the top of the brackets.
yeah. I've never liked being at the top because then there's always the pressure on you to like beat everyone.
Yeah,
But if you're not at the top, I mean, there's always good competition. You can also like learn from them. So I always like not being at the top.
that's great. That's great. Okay, so then when did you become a FIDE master?
I became an FM like a week ago. It was very recent.
Wow! All
So
right, I gotta give
yeah,
you a round of applause.
yeah,
Congrats.
yeah.
But you
Um,
you had crossed the threshold earlier, though, right?
I crossed 2300 this last month. The FIDE ratings I
Okay.
posted last month. So
Okay, then it has to post. That's right. That's right.
yeah,
To the official rating list. Okay,
yeah.
well that's a big congrats to you. How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was very motivating. I really wanted to cross for a long time. I would always get stuck at like 2250. I'd go down and go up, and then finally got the breakthrough to 2300. So yeah, that was great.
What did you find so hard about climbing before you made the breakthrough?
Um, I think FIDE tournaments are always very, very like difficult compared to USCF because FIDE tournaments, if you lose a game, you lose so much.
Hmm.
And but I think it's easier to climb, but you need to have really consistent tournaments. If you play really good and really bad, you're never gonna get through. So
Yeah, it's gonna.
you have to play very well, like consistently for like 3, 4 tournaments in a row,
I
which
see.
was very hard for me.
I see. And what brought you that consistency?
I think working with my coaches, and consistently getting better over time, working on my openings, and just improving my chess overall. It
Yeah.
wasn't like just one tournament I got like really good pairings or something. It was just like just getting better overall as a chess player.
Okay, so then take us into that a little bit. Let's zoom in on that and talk about what your training entails. So, training like this is not easy. Let's start with maybe how much you work a day and what you're working on.
I work, I'd say 4 or 5 hours a day
All right.
on chess.
Wow.
Most of it is calculation and tactics, which I use online, and my coaches help me with that.
Okay.
And then I spend some time working on like new openings or new updates that have happened. And I also think that one thing is revising your end games, because I mean you learned them like 1 or 2 years ago, you'll just forget everything. So you have to keep revising everything on a constant basis.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you have to keep going
Sometimes,
back and looking at it, right?
yeah, the openings do get boring, but you just have to do it. Yeah, you just have to do
Well,
openings.
what's
So.
your favorite part? The tactics or the end game or
I love the end game. For some reason, when there's less pieces on the board, I just like playing those end games.
yeah.
So
Is that because you can calculate deeper or
um, I usually like it because when you do end games, you know that at some point in time they're gonna happen in like a real game or something. And it is also because you can calculate a lot more and you don't just get confused by all the pieces, which I really like in games.
yeah, all the pieces in the middle game that
Yeah,
are
exactly.
insane.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty excellent. And so, how much time do you actually just spend playing chess online? Just practice games and things like that.
I think I spend like an hour. I play a lot of Blitz,
Hmm.
so and I
Okay,
enjoy.
I'm
So
gonna ask you a hard question. Are you being honest? Do you spend more time playing Blitz or do you spend more time studying?
I spend more time studying. I somehow make myself not. Um, but I mean, even when I play like chess games online, like I have to also study them and see what I did wrong, which
Yeah,
has to do with my studying also.
yeah, and in the Blitz games, are you looking mostly at your openings?
Yeah. So like I play Blitz game and I analyze it really quickly and see if I played the opening right.
Hmm.
And that's what I use my Blitz games for, like to see if I've learned my openings properly or whatever.
Right, right. And would you recommend that for other players doing that?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a really good way to learn openings if you don't like just looking at files. You can just play a few Blitz games, see if you played the opening right, go check your files on like ChessBase on them. And yeah, see if you played it right.
Okay, and then how much of your study is on either modern games that are played or historical games?
Mm, I don't do that a lot. I know I should do it more. Um,
That's okay.
I I look at like the recent tournaments that have been going on though.
Hmm.
Like the candidates just recently happened. I've looked at like those games. I normally try to look at all the top games that are currently going on, but I still need to look at a lot more games.
Do
They
you?
really help you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Finish that statement.
No, looking at games really do help you. It's just slightly boring, but I need to get past that.
It's slightly boring. So
Yeah.
you're not a fan of following all the tournaments, or you just like to
Um,
follow the results?
I look at liking the game. I like looking at them live. For some
Okay.
reason, I just like the anticipation of what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when the games are done, I just don't really like looking at them.
That's okay. I appreciate the honesty on that. All right. So then let's talk about your goals. You just barely got
Yeah.
the. I'm gonna say that again. I shook the desk. You just barely got your FIDE Master title. So then, what are your main goals for the future?
Right now I'm like playing this norm tournament, trying to become IM, then try to become a GM. I think once I get like one or two really good IM norm tournaments, I'll get the confidence to go for the GM. Definitely want to try to get the GM before I go to college.
Okay.
It's very difficult, but I think I can do it. So that's my goal currently.
What grade are you going into?
I'm going tonight.
So you have 4 years.
Yeah.
And are your parents expecting you to keep up your grades at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of knew the answer, but I'm interested to see how you're going to balance the time there.
Yeah. Balancing time is one issue. Right now it's summer break, so
Yeah.
I have a lot of time for chess. I have to use it as much as I can. But when I go to school, it's like an 8:30 to like 3:30 day
Yeah.
that I can't do any chess, and then I have like 4 or 5 hours after. So I gotta manage homework and chess somehow, and you figure it out.
If you could, would you just study chess all day?
Um, I would like to study chess all day, but I think studies are also important. So
Okay.
school
Okay.
is important.
Are there any subjects you're really interested in?
Yeah, I love math.
Okay.
Math is the best.
Math is the best.
Um,
I love it. Well, that's fantastic. Tell all the kids out there why.
Math's the best. I'm always excited to go into math class. So,
That's cool. Do you do any like academic competitions in math or anything like that?
no,
Okay, just curious.
no. I I feel like if you want to do that, you have to study math a lot more than I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
just enjoy math.
Oh, you
So,
just enjoy doing it.
yeah,
Okay, awesome. All right, so you want to become an IM or a GM, right? Do
yeah,
you know how hard that is?
yeah. I know it's very, very difficult. You have to study a lot, and you need to use like norm terms really well. And, yeah, it's very, very difficult. I know that, but hoping I can get across that
How many?
and somehow.
Do you have any idea how many events it'll take to get, say, the IM title first?
Um, I don't know yet because this is my first one. I haven't had like an IM norm experience yet, like
Okay,
a tournament before. So once I play one, I might know. Probably like 5 to 10 norm
okay,
tournament. So
okay.
it's
And
gonna be a lot.
what? So your first one, right? I mean,
Yep.
how excited are you?
I'm very excited because I've never played one before.
Okay.
Um, and I feel like it'll be a completely different experience because you have to like prepare for specific people,
Hmm.
and it's not like, Swiss tournament or whatever.
Yeah, you've
But
played mostly open tournaments to this point.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've mostly played open tournaments.
So, so how are you adjusting to the difference in preparation?
For preparation, I think preparation's easier because in open tournaments, there's like a lot more people, obviously. But in these norm tournaments, I feel like you can specifically prepare for one person, like and like you can like trap them. I feel like easier than in an open tournament.
Right.
So
And are you friends with anybody that you're going to be playing against?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've talked with Mike a lot, Mike Zelonsky. I've talked with him,
Yeah.
but other than that, probably not.
Do you think you're going to crush Mike?
Uh we'll see. We'll see.
Mike's a good
Depends on
friend
the
of
day.
mine as well, so that's why I asked that.
We'll see. I'll try.
Okay, don't tell him I said I think you can crush him. Don't tell him I
Yeah.
said that. He'll probably watch this, but
Uh,
okay, that's interesting. And um, well, I kind of want to ask that. Um, I mean, Mike is the kind of person who plays really offbeat openings. Um, how you think there's going to be a difference in preparing for someone like Mike, and someone who plays more standard openings?
I feel like it's definitely easier to prepare against standard openings because against standard openings you can play whatever line you want. But if they play something offbeat, you're normally going to be out of prep like in the first like 10 moves, and they're going to have preparation against you. So the way I deal with that, I guess, is just play solid moves and don't do anything risky if that happens.
Okay,
And
that makes sense. That makes sense. Uh, that's pretty good advice actually for everybody. All
don't play
right.
risky.
Wait, say it again.
Yeah, I feel like if they play some weird opening that you don't know, if you just play like normal moves and stick to the basics, I mean, you'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, that's really good advice. All right, so let's move on to the just fun, silly questions that I threatened at the beginning of this conversation. So just have fun with them, and you don't have to think too deeply. So first one is a fun one. Who is your
Okay.
favorite superhero?
Superhero Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's a good choice. That's a
Yeah.
really popular one. Um, what is your favorite place to go on vacation?
My favorite vacation, probably Hawaii. Um,
Oh, what island?
I've been there twice,
Ah,
and I've
nice.
always liked all the attractions and just far from home. It's a really good place.
Do you remember what islands you went to?
I went to the Big Island, and I went to I think I only went to the Big Island.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I went
So,
both times to the Big Island.
all right. I mean, that's a really good choice. Um, this is a chess related one. Who is the most underrated player in chess history?
Underrated. I don't even know. Um, I feel like right now, up to date, I feel like um, Ferocia, he's
Oh,
really, really good, and he's really underrated. I feel like he'll be number one at some point in time. He's playing really good chess right now, so
okay, okay. That's great.
I think
Do you
he's
play?
gonna become.
Oh, sorry to say that the last part.
I think he's gonna become number one. Hoping he'll become world champion. He's really, really good right now, and I love watching his chess games.
Awesome. Do you play any sports?
I used to play some soccer on my school team. Other than that, I just play like badminton for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, I just play soccer, badminton, a little bit of basketball, just for fun.
Do you watch any sports other than chess?
Yes, I watch the NBA a lot.
Oh, nice. Who's your
Um,
favorite team?
Golden State Warriors.
Oh, well, of course that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay. And let's see. Do I have another one? I thought I had one more that I like. Oh yeah. This is a funny one. If you could choose any actor to play you in the movie of your life, who would it be?
Mm, Tom Cruise.
Oh, nice! You'll be flying around in the jet with your little chess piece on
Exactly.
the side. You got the magnetic pieces upside down.
Exactly.
You're gonna go
Exactly.
like 20 G's, just like you're like, I have to play that move.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I like that. That's actually one of the best answers I've received. Okay, here's the hard one. What would you like to say to your fans?
Um. Just keep playing chess. Try to get better as much as you can.
Okay.
And always analyze your games. It's very important. Even
Oh.
though you don't like it, just keep doing it. It
Oh.
helps.
That's very wise, actually. Always analyze your games. Okay, on that note, let's analyze one of your games.
Yeah.
And go ahead and share your screen when you're ready, and we'll switch over and we'll take a look at this game that you prepared. Okay.
So this is my game against Krasimir Brankov. I played this a few months ago, 1 or 2 months ago, and I really liked how I played this game. So
Where was this played?
this was played on chess.com,
Okay.
but it was these tournaments where it would be like USA versus like a team in Bulgaria,
Cool.
and there would be like 10 of us and 10 of them, and we'd play online, and it would be a very cool experience to play some good players. So.
That's excellent. All right, let's see it.
So e4, knight f6. This opening I was expecting before the game,
No.
and this is my secret weapon. I play this opening against this Petrov here. C6, f4. All of this was my prep before the game. I was really excited to play this line before the game.
So, was he moving fast here? Did he know the lines?
Yes, he was playing. He was playing really fast. I was actually surprised that he knew this line.
Okay.
But he was playing relatively fast, and this is where I think he made his first mistake, because here I'm playing bishop d3 to get rid of his very powerful bishop,
Yeah.
which is stopping my rook from f5, and I'm trying to remove it. And he plays bishop to g6, which is his mistake. It's very important to trade off this bishop on d3 and try to get this c5 break. The c5 break is the best way for black to open up his position, or else I will always have the space advantage.
So, from a theoretical perspective, it seems like it makes sense to trade the bishop because it's the good bishop, correct? And
Yes.
now you're left with the bad dark squared bishop. But
Yeah.
what's your compensation for that, trading that bishop?
So in this position, the compensation is basically the space advantage with my e5 pawn and my d4 pawn.
Okay.
These pawns are like a thorn and just completely stop all his pieces from moving. The only way that he can like try to stop like and break the centers with c5, try to get the knight up.
Yeah.
But this gets into a lot of theory with a lot of interesting lines here. One of them I think I can just show you guys.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, it goes like this, and he's gonna win my rook. I'm gonna go for some attack here.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah, crazy lines here.
That is so wild. Do you love playing these wild lines?
Yeah. I love playing attacking lines. I always like, and this was like my prep, so I wanted him to fall for it, but he didn't.
Yeah. But he plays an inferior move, so it's nice
Yeah.
that he plays an inferior move here.
Yeah. And since he plays bishop g6, this is basically bad because now I'm going to stop him from playing the c5 break.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is his only break in the position. I have to be able to play d5 against his c5 move. And if I get this, then I'm just completely winning.
Right.
And I've actually got this. Castle b3. And one example is if you go c5, I have d5. And it looks like this pawn is hanging.
Right.
But it isn't because I can take it.
You take on G.
And then this.
Yeah.
So this position is already very good for me. During the game, I thought I was only like slightly better, but the engine thinks I'm completely winning.
Wow.
Here I finally take on g6 with my bishop. I felt like it was a good time to do it because this bishop was also annoying me itself, and I felt like this h-file could come in handy later in the game. I played bishop f4. I don't think this is a great move, this bishop f4 move, because it doesn't really do anything except protect this pawn. But I played it because I was thinking, okay, if he goes c5, I need to go d5, and this pawn would have been hanging in this case.
Right.
But since I've got this bishop on f4, it could help. The only problem is that's the only job it does, and otherwise it's just stuck. It's stuck on f4, and it's blocking my rook.
So you were just a little too like.
Yeah, I was playing a little too defensive. I felt like. After he played f5, a5. I thought his idea was good. His idea is to try to go a4 and take this pawn, and try to open up the queen side. Try to get some counterplay on the a file. But I thought this was too slow, because since I have all the space, I'm gonna go for an attack on the king side, and I thought that he has to do something against that and not on the queen side. He goes a5, queen c2. My idea is to just continue to protect these two pawns after this a4 push.
Yeah.
And I play rook a1. And now I've got all my pieces in, I think, the best locations I could have got them to. And now I just have to figure out a way to win the game. He takes and goes queen v8. This move looked very strange, because his queen, he just moves it away from where I'm attacking, where I'm going to attack.
Yeah.
I understood his idea is going to be queen a7 to queen a3 and try to hit these pawns and stop my queen and make my queen protect this. But again, I thought his ideas were way too slow.
Yeah.
And so I played knight e4. And this is my game plan to win the game. I'm gonna get my queen to the h file and try to trade the dark square bishops. If I get to trade these dark square bishops, this knight g5 move will be free and I can check them.
Right.
And this is the entire idea of knight e4.
And are you seeing this whole plan right in the game, like here? You see that whole plan, correct?
Yeah. In the game, when I play knight e4, this is my idea.
Great.
During the game. He goes queen a7. Again, he's trying to go queen a3, trying to break something on the queen side. Maybe even queen a2 here, because if he's scared of this king side attack, he can try to trade queens. And I think if he trades queens, I'm still better. But I mean, again, he has the a file. So, and this a file can help him a lot to get some counterplay. I go bishop g5, trying to trade the darks for bishops, like my plan. He goes bishop b4, and I play c5. I think this is one of the only inaccuracies I made this entire game. My idea was to stop this bishop and trap it from ever coming back, and stop this queen here. But there was nothing to worry about. I could just continue with my idea. Get the queen h3, move the bishop, and go knight g5.
It's just simple as that, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, the thing is, black has no counterplay. I mean,
right.
It's all because of the space advantage. Like, again, as you can see, this knight is stuck because of this amazing pawn on b3. This knight is stuck. It's not even doing anything because of this pawn on d4.
Right.
So I could have played queen d3. I was scared of this knight e5 attack with the point to f take, knight c4.
Right.
And he opens up his queen. But again, there was actually nothing here to be scared of. There's king h1, knight b2. He has a fork, but okay, it doesn't matter. Again to this, and again, same idea. Move the bishop and go knight g5. And he can't even stop it.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. That idea was the winning idea this entire game. So I shouldn't have been scared of it. But I allowed his knight to come into the defense, which did help him later in the game.
Yeah.
Here I go. Queen d3. And b6 is a mistake. This is too slow. I think most of his moves were too slow. I think the best move was queen a2. With the idea that he's stopping me from going queen h3 because my knight's in.
Right.
And this would basically slow down my play. And it's also very hard to kick this queen out of a2. Because if I go rook a1, you just take. And you get 2 rooks for a queen. So he played b6. I don't think this is a good move. I go queen h3. And again, you cannot take this because of bishop e7. And I really love this move because it looks like, okay, you're just hanging a piece, but knight g5, it's impossible to stop it.
Yeah, I just love that knight g5 every time, and there's no way to stop the mates.
Yeah. And another reason why this bishop e7 is amazing is because if you move the rook, for example, I get knight g5 again, and the reason that this bishop is amazing is because it stops the king from escaping.
Right.
So even if you take, check, and mate.
Yeah, and that square is blocked by the piece that took your bishop.
Yeah. Which is why I really love this, which is also why he played queen a2. And this is a very tricky move. I spent about 40 minutes here calculating.
Oh, wow, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's a very complicated position because I thought this was very simple, but realized I was wrong. This knight's hanging, and if I move it, I slow down my attack, and I allow him to get his queen closer to the king side. So I went bishop d2 with the same idea as bishop e7, where I'm removing the bishop and I'm going to get knight g5. And the idea is if bishop takes, rook takes, this knight's protecting this, the queen's hanging, and my next move is knight g5.
Yeah, bishop d2 looked very natural.
Yeah.
Why did you need
Um,
that much time to?
yeah, so I spent 40 minutes here not because of bishop d2, but because of the next move.
Oh, I see.
So he goes rook f8, which I think is the best try for him. And
Oh,
his idea is to get the king out, and since my bishop's not on e7, I don't get the same winning idea with knight g5. And this is where it gets complicated. I continue to go knight g5, threatening queen h7 and rook f7 mate.
yeah, yeah.
But now he has the resource knight f8,
Oh, I see.
because now this knight stops my queen h7. And again, this bishop e7 would have been lovely, but I couldn't have done. And again, if we go back, if I had gone bishop e7, it doesn't work, because again, he can take this knight and go queen h5 and stop this queen.
Right, right. So you have to see all these tactical ideas. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So I continue to go knight g5. And again, also the problem here is this bishop is now hanging because I've moved this knight
Yeah,
from the defense.
right.
I go rook f7, and this I had seen before when I was thinking for like 40 minutes. It's an interesting idea. It does work, but it's very difficult to calculate. He plays bishop d2, taking the free piece, rook f8, removing the defender of the h7 square. So if you take with the rook, it's just mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he takes with the king, rook f1. And the thing I was struggling to calculate from back then was these blockades. Because these blockades are very hard to see from a long time ago. And I actually missed one of them. I actually missed that he could block it. I got kind of lucky that this is just completely winning still. Because my knight on e2 just takes the bishop and opens this f1.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But the worry there could be that the king is escaping to the queen side.
Yes, that's the worry. Which we'll get to with king e7.
Yeah.
But bishop f4 take, knight takes, rook takes, king e7. The idea is queen e6.
Yeah, and then
And
he's busted.
this king is just getting mated.
Yeah.
So he goes king e7 immediately, which is the main line. I take on e6, king d8, queen d6 check, king c8, queen c6 check, just taking everything in my path, knight c7. And here's the important move. And here's actually where I was stuck for most of the 40 minutes. I had gotten to here because most of the moves were very forcing.
Yeah.
But I got stuck here since both of his rooks are protected, this knight's protected, and every piece that I get in the game doesn't work because of this bishop e3 check, and he gets mating chances now.
Yeah.
So back then, I actually thought this line didn't work, and I was not going to play this bishop d2 move.
Wow.
I was going to move this knight from e2 because I didn't see what to do. But luckily, I found the winning move, which is cb6.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean, in this position, it's pretty obvious that cb6 is working.
Like when you get to this position, you see cb6. Okay, it's completely winning. But back then, I just did not see these pawns, and I wasn't even calculating. cb6 is actually not the only move that wins.
Oh, wow.
There's also knight to e6, because this move also has the same threat of mate.
Oh.
And if you take it, I get rook f2.
Yeah, then rook f8 is mating as well. Wow.
So this was another move. Yeah.
And then
I get cb6.
Yeah.
He goes bishop e3 check. I don't think this is a good move. It's just like desperado.
Yeah, yeah. But he's
King
never
h1.
left here, yeah.
Yeah. He goes rook a7 to stop the mate in 1. I go knight f7. I thought this was a nice move. Getting the knight into the attack as well.
You're like, I don't need all your stuff. I'll take it at some point.
Yeah, everything's hanging and I'm just not taking it.
That's a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah. He goes rook e6, knight d6 check, take. And I mean, now it's just rook f8. You can't even stop it. There's no way to stop it. Right. He tries to play bishop f2. I don't take the bishop. Yeah. I just take the rook on a7. He plays queen e2. And I checkmate.
Nice little checkmate at the end. I love it. Yeah. Okay, we're running out of time here, so let's unshare and wrap up, and we'll just finish talking about how this game made you feel. That I found it interesting that you said you calculated for that long. Is it necessary to calculate that deeply in that position?
I think it's very important to calculate that because if you don't calculate it properly, you could easily just like lose that game.
Hmm.
Because when you stack a lot of pieces and you don't get anything at the end, you're just down like a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
So I think it was very important to calculate there. Because the lucky thing was everything was forcing, so it was easier to see.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't calculated that and just went in, I might not have found all the like nuances in that position and might have got the wrong move order.
Yeah, and you had the time on your clock, so you might as well.
Yeah, yeah. I had like an hour, so I thought it was like the important moment to take all the time in the world to try to win the game.
Great, great. Well, I think that's an excellent game to illustrate your abilities because that's some seriously deep calculation, and especially in multiple variations. You didn't even show everything that you calculated
Yeah.
there. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that you joined me on the show today, Sriram. I wish you good luck in
Yep.
the 1000 GM event. Are you excited?
Yep. I am.
All right, and then we'll probably ask Mike after if he's excited once you crush him. But just kidding, Mike. Okay, well, thanks again for joining me. And
Yeah.
any last words for the audience?
No, just I'm just gonna have fun in the tournament and play my best chess.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great tournament.
Yep. Thank you.